Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and one of its largest economies, is grappling with a deepening poverty crisis. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, about 31% of Nigerians lived in poverty, but since then, the situation has worsened drastically. Fresh data shows that an additional 42 million people have slipped into poverty, pushing the rate up to roughly 46% by 2024. To talk to us about the lived experiences of the people of Nigeria, we are joined by Martins Oloja, a public affairs analyst in Nigeria. Martin, thank you so much for making the time. Welcome to Channel Africa.
Thank you.
Yeah, I understand that tomorrow you're celebrating your 65th Independence Day, and that comes at the time when the country is facing this challenge of poverty. Recent data shows that 46% of Nigerians now live in poverty, with over 133 million experiencing, malnutrition and poverty. How did the country get to this point?
Well, it is not so complicated. We got to this point because of poor leadership, poor management of our resources over the years. We have been having accidental leaders here and there. We have been having leaders who were not prepared, and then we continue to have leaders who just allow politics to trump policies over the years, and they haven't been transparent with us. But by and large, they haven't been serious with management of the economy. They have been managing politics. They have been wasting our money on politics, post-election petition, and they are never sworn in before election petition. And when they are sworn in, they continue to use public resources for election petition. And the ministers in the Temple of Justice, all these lawyers, continues to take advantage of that to charge them a lot. And that is some elephant in the room here that we hardly talk about. So these are issues, but in the main, people do not manage the economy. That's why we have economic stagnation, we have inflation, they remove subsidy without a protection for the people. And you see the inflation rate is so high, and we have energy crisis here on our hand, and they have some classification in the electricity sector they call band A, and that's very expensive, but your income may not be able to meet that expenditure, and so many complications in the economic sphere.
Yeah, and Mr. Oloja, I know that before COVID-19 pandemic, about 31% of Nigerians lived in poverty. Then the question is, to what extent has the COVID-19 pandemic merely exposed underlying structural weaknesses in Nigeria's economy and governance? And also, to add on that, I'm asking because the government has rolled out several social investment and poverty alleviation programs. Why do you think these interventions have not significantly reduced the hardships for Nigerians?
These interventions were not backed with believable statistics. The statistics here is like Aaron Levinson saying that statistics are like women's bikinis. What they reveal is only suggestive, and what they conceal is vital. The statistics they use for us here can never be reliable. The way they do it, they don't even have the right people in all these economic agencies. They don't have the right people. We continue to see a celebration of mediocrity. People managing the monetary policies, people managing fiscal policies. They just put politicians, they do not put the right people. You just see all sorts of mediocrity around. They don't have the right people to manage this. They don't have data scientists. They don't have economic managers that can actually do this. In other words, we are in a country where some of the worst are in government and they are running the best and the brightest, who will never have any opportunity because they pay too much politics. You must be a member of the political party, and some of the brightest and the best who are in the professions or in the industry are never allowed to come near management of the economy. In a modern governance system, you have to treat the people, you have to regard the people, you have to understand the people as if they were customers. So modern politics is customer-centric. But if you do not treat your customers well, in business, you are not in business. So they do not regard citizens as citizens. They don't regard citizens as customers. They should treat well. So they don't care because of the way they win election in this place. So it's really very, very painful that they do not actually treat people as if we were to vote for them tomorrow. They don't think people are electoral assets. The way they win election in this place, so that they just do what they like. They employ people they like. They don't care about mediocrity, and then the institution that you audit them, the institution that you call them to order, is the National Assembly. But we also have in that kind of place now people who are not reliable.
Yeah,
they do not behave as a separate arm of government that you be in charge of the treasury. They are supposed to be in charge of the treasury. They are supposed to oversee what is happening. They are supposed to, the oversight function, they have neglected it. So they now even defend government policies. Whatever the executive head takes to the National Assembly is speedily approved. And it's very confounding to us here. And these are some of the complications that we are facing here.
Yeah, I hear you're speaking about mediocrity, and I get a sense that you don't believe that political classes are genuinely prioritizing poverty. But just before I let you go, Mr. Oloja, what are the risks of allowing poverty to deepen unchecked? And I'm asking because we're speaking about issues around in terms of the insecurity, migration, and political instability.
No, definitely. These are the risk all this, political instability, because I think they risk this danger of assumption that everything will go well. They can always use money to just make people to be quiet. But it's usually not so, because our society tool is still sophisticated. We have people who are well educated, as I said, that they never bring to power, but they just allow poverty to rise like that. You are beginning to see that there can be some some youthful exuberance, some hostility, and if you check the social media content in this place, you see people are complaining and people are doubting how they are going to win election next time because they don't care.
No.
For instance, tomorrow now there will be no celebration of the 65th anniversary. They have cancelled the parade. They don't care. And even most of the political leaders are not in the capital here to celebrate Nigeria's 65th anniversary. So they allow poverty to deepen, and they have some propaganda people who just use some data anyhow. And they themselves, they continue to praise themselves that we have managed the economy, we have stabilized the economy, we have done this one, inflation rate is coming down, but food inflation is not coming down in such a way that even you can deal with poverty. And it's really very surprising the way they just have this assumption that all is well. It is not well. And the media will continue to, we are even complaining about certain things here now, that police and some other security agencies just arrest media people anyhow on some flimsy excuses using cyber security act to just arrest some journalists. And Nigeria is confounded, and you see the Nigerian Guild of Editors and Nigerian Press Organization normally issues statements regularly about the danger of suppressing the rights of individuals.
All right.
The danger of suppressing the press. And this is what we face in this place at this moment.
All right. Mr. Martins Oloja, thank you so much for really making the time.
No, you're welcome.
There you have it. That was